Hey everybody, back again here. I'm going to actually be bringing you on how to use include and require and what are these functions that they do. Just a basis of what they do is they pull in another file into the current file that you're in. By doing this, you can bring over classes that are in another file back into the main file that you're pulling or requiring fields and such and such. And I'm going to actually show you how to do that. In this tutorial, we're going to be on 14 here. We're going to actually be referring back to our seventh tutorial and the 8th tutorial here. We're going to be using those classes, importing them, and showing you, or I'm going to be showing you how they work. So to start off the page, like normal, just going to do the PHP tags. And I want to turn on error reporting. Reason why I'm going to do this is to show you the errors that come up. Error reporting doesn't always display them unless you have it set on. If you're on a live server, usually error reporting is 0, and then they have a function in the background that overrides that, or they have a different way of doing it. In this case, I'm just returning them all on. I want you guys to be able to see this. Alright, so first off, I'm going to be using include. Basis of include is I'm going to pull over our basic 7 tutorial first. This has our tutorial and it has our helper file classes in them. Pull, tutorial, and helper. Okay, include, what it does, it's going to pull over the file, and that's all it's going to do. If there's classes in it, it will pull it over with it, and I'll show you that. And if there's content that gets displayed, it'll pull that over too. And there's a way to combat that, but I'm not going to show that in this. I want to show you guys how to pull over some information. So we're going to go include. Currently, Basics 4, if you notice in this web page that I have on the left, Basics 14 is in the same folder as Basics 7. So I'm just going to go include, so your brackets around, print single quotes, and then type basics07.php. And don't forget your semicolon at the end. And let me make sure I spelled that right, because I'm really bad at spelling today. I can barely see at the moment. So we included that file. I have nothing else in the file. So I'm going to go and load Basics 14 here. On load, I get 20-13, yeah, helping away. Now, if you don't remember what this file actually had in it, at the beginning it has the class, and then it has an extended class, extending onto tutorial. Now at the bottom, it actually has information being echoed, and I didn't remove any of this because I just want to show you that I can include a file. Upon including the file, I bring over that echo information. There's ways to get around that and combat that, but at this moment, we're not going to worry about that. So that's how you include a file. Now, if you mess up on including a file, I'm going to set a 0 at the end here, and we're going to click refresh. Boom. I get an error saying the file cannot be found, no such directory, da-da-da-da-da-da. That means I can't find it. That means your include is pointing to the wrong directory, or you have the wrong pointer set up in your include. There's multiple ways to set up that. I can literally just say .this and then remove the 0. It'll pull the same file again because I'm pulling from the same directory. What this is saying is where I'm currently located, pull that file. It's in that same folder. Now I can always go like that. There's another way. You can do a double dot. That means go out of folder. In this case, this is an out of folder, so I'll get an error. I'm just going to go back to the basic. I just want this file. Now, I have the class pulled over. What does it do if I want to use that class? So, let's see. What was class help? Okay, we have class help. And as you can tell down here, we have a construct. It constructs itself and goes, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this. In this case, the blah, 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 blah was set up the helping text and set the visible text. You don't have to, but you can. And then from there, you have the help me and gets me 2 numbers and all that. Or you just type help and set the text and goes, okay, it is numeric or is it not? And that's how you can find out what is going to pop up for you. In this case, we're going to actually use help. And none of these are static, so I have to actually make a variable for it. Now, I could use this variable, but I'm not going to show you how to do that. But I will copy this, because I just want to load that static value over here. We're not going to name it help, though. So we're going to load our value. We're going to go load class from included file. Okay, yeah, help me. We're just going to name this included. Okay, new help. So just pulling that over, probably need to make a line break here. As you can tell, I have the file being included. So I'm going to actually end this PHP tag and just do an HR. If I can even spell. Like I said, I can barely see right now. So I'm sorry if it's a little bit me going, this a lot. So if I go refresh, I'm going to see this line. Now I defined this helper class right here, but I didn't tell it to output or anything. So from the functions that we have help me, we have construct, and we have help. Well, construct we're not going to use because construct is right when we define it. That's when that's being used. So actually we only have help me and help. So we're going to go help me. So let's go and use help me, and we're just going to go echo helping, and then we named it include. There we go. And I don't have to pass a variable to this, so I'm not going to go into any of that detail. I just want to show you how to use include and require. There's going to be include, require, and require once. I'll show you the difference between them. But if I do refresh, helping, boom, it's right there. Now, I already have this file included. What happens if I wanted to include it again? You can. Include doesn't stop you at one. You might get an error from a class being defined already, and you're redefining and trying to redefine it again. If I go refresh here, beta layer, cannot declare a class. That's because I have a class file. Now, if I didn't have any of this information for the classes in this, I could echo this as many times as I want. In this case, I can't remove that because that whole page is that class. But you can do that. Now, another thing that you'll notice is there's require. I'm going to actually go into that. So what does this function have? We have our static helper, we have our abstract helper, and we have our dog. So this one has static, abstract, and dog. So we're just going to say helpers. That's what I'm going to name it on this in my little comment here. Pull helpers. Helpers. And I'm just going to say dogs. Now, I'm going to use require instead on this one. Require, and we're going to do 8. So upon doing require, and let me break this out again. There's multiple ways you can break this out, but I'm just going to use HR tags. You can see the line breaks and everything, and I still can't see. Alright, so refresh here. Doop. Okay, so I have my line, I have my helping. So to kind of break this down, top is the include still. The one in between is the helping that I set up here that after I included it, I made a new value, and then I pulled over that function within that class. And then from there, I have my require, and I required basic 8. Now, with require, it's just like include almost. Instead, if the file isn't linked, the page breaks. You won't be able to see that how I have it currently, so let's go in HR tag here. And is it, I can't even spell. Is it broken? So the reason why I did this is just to show you what I'm going to change at the moment. So if I refresh this, I have another line added, and is it broken is added underneath it. Now, I'm going to break my require. When I break the require, your page will break. It will not load any farther because it's required. It's a required element within your PHP. That's the main difference between include and require. They both load on the server side before outputting to the user and all that information. But it does cause a breaking. I'm just going to go out of directory. I'm not going to change any name. So what I just did is said, oh yeah, define basics 8 and a directory higher than me. Well, there's no basics 8 there. If I click refresh, boom. As you can tell, it stopped. Where did it stop at? It stopped right after I did my echo helping and added the line, because that's where my require is. You don't see is it broken or a line underneath it. Require requires file. I just wanted to kind of show you that. Another way that you can get kind of around the having it included the same file over and over again, because if I fix this here, especially if it's a required element and you don't know if it's called on another page or not, usually you want to infrastructure where you only call a file once, but sometimes it might require multiple times. Well, with require, if I do this again, it's going to throw me an error. Oop. I tried calling the same file. Now, instead of using require, you can actually use require once. Require once is much nicer. I'm going to actually comment this one out here. And that makes sure is that the file's already been required, it can't be required again. So if I go require once, real quick, we're not going to get an error. Boom, no error. Okay? Now if I copy this line right here, and say this was on another page, it doesn't have to be on the same page like I'm doing. It can be anywhere down the page. If I have it on another page and I set require once on it, I refresh, boom. You don't get that error that you normally get when you have require that are calling the same files, or the include and include that is calling the same files. It makes sure it only gets called once. So if it already knows it's been loaded, it's not going to load it again. It's a very nice function for major systems that you need to have running. One of the last things that I haven't shown you is, even though I have include and I have my require, this line right here, if I don't run this after I include it, it'll throw me an error. If I'm not going to actually move that one. Let's make it right down here first. So I'm done actually coming out one of these, just kind of keep it a little hinted on where it's at. So let's go and build this function that I want to make for the require once. So what are the classes? We have extract helper, and then we have dog. We're just going to call dog. Actually, dog is automatically called down here, so we're just going to go right here. Boop. Doop. I don't have to retype anything. I'm not trying to majorly trying to show you how to redo all your classes and everything. I'm just trying to make this quick and show you how to use required and include. Nice functionality to have, especially when you want to make a big system or CMS or anything of that sort. And we're just going to go dog sound. To be honest, it'll throw an error on the first part. If I go echo dog sound, doo-doo, right? Okay. So if I refresh her, doop, boom, fatal error. Because I'm trying to call a class or a function or anything from another file before I've ever included that file. The file is included down here. It does not mean it's loaded. It goes through the PHP and finds all the files that are required to include and then puts them all into one. No, it goes in top to bottom order. So if I actually move this down, let's push that down here. Sorry, I'm a little bit neat freaking when it comes to that, even though I can't see. And then I click refresh here. Boop. I don't get that error. I get hope woof. As you can tell, I didn't do a line break here, so you can't see the difference. We'll go right here. And we'll go HR. There we go. So you'll know that I include the basic state, which should be this top part right here. And highlight it all. Oh, let me just refresh it. Boop. Alright. So what I did is I broke it now all apart. So my first section is the include that I showed you at the beginning of this. It shows you how to include a file, and then I showed you that you can call the class from inside that file on the page outside that you included it, the major where you included the class from. The next thing is I showed you require. Require is nice, and then I broke it apart just to show you. Like I said, this being moved down below where it's been required will make it work. If you set it above before the class or functions or anything from that page is needing to be called, it will not work. So just keep that in mind in case there's something saying this is not defined. That's probably because you didn't include the file or require it, whichever function that you like to use. I tend to use require a lot. I don't use include unless it's a basic template of a page if I need to format it and stuff. But that's just on my end. And then you can find out where the errors are. As you can see, on every time I do these tutorials lately, I've been doing error reporting. I try to turn it on. I don't have it on the server. It's minimum if it is on. It's only on major alerts, like something totally broke. So I turned on e-audit on these pages to show you what these errors are. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments about it or a little bit lost on what I try to show you, if I went a little bit too quickly, make a comment down below. Leave me a message. Like it if you think it was a good video, and I hope to see you guys again. Thank you very much. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a comment or like below. If you want to keep up with all activities on the channel, click subscribe. And if you would like to watch another video, there's some videos listed down below here. And thanks for watching.